The style of visualization. For my stock price prediction model, I think the suitable visualization would be graphs to understand the price changes according to the time. Because in my simulation there are multiple variables like drift and average changes, and it is common to plot many variables on the same graph simultaneously to see if there's an obvious relationship. Also, I can use graphs to compare different stocks and compare the predicted value and the real value. And here's the example showing around 100 projections for Tesla Inc. stock for the portion of March 2018 to March 2019. And the frequencies of different outcomes generated by the simulation will form a normal distribution. That is a bell curve. The most likely return is in the middle of the curve, meaning there's an equal chance that the actual return will be higher or lower than the value. So the mechanism or tools to be used. The collecting data is from Yahoo Finance, which is truthy and worthy. A Monte Carlo simulation is the model used to predict the probability of different outcomes when the intervention of random variables is present. Monte Carlo simulations have to explain the impact of risk and uncertainty in prediction and forecasting models. Matplotlib is the comprehensive library for creating static, animated, and intuitive visualization in Python. Pandas is fast, powerful, flexible, and easy to use open source data analysis and manipulation tools built on top of Python programming languages. So those are the tools I'm using for this project. Will it be real-time post-hoc or hybrid? So the stock price simulator I created is a prediction simulation. It predicts the result by collecting past data and creating graphs and predicting the future from the past graph analysis. So in our stock price prediction simulator, we need the future predictions, but we also need past data. So for this project, this is post hoc. How will parameters or instructions to be displayed? So we can see the formula for the next day's price. For the parameters in the stock price simulator, we have drift, average daily return, variance, and random value. And we will use those parameters to get next day's price for stock. After plotting all projections, we will see the relationship between the simulation days and the stock price. So here is the function I'm using to generate the next day price in the Python code, and here is the prediction line. It's like there are 100 projections here, and here is the simulation days, and here is the values. Will sound be utilized? If so, how? So for my project, it's more over visualizing in fact. So and I don't feel it gives importance to sound, so I didn't utilize any sound with it. Reasoning for any decisions you have made statistical, practical. A Monte Carlo simulation takes the variables that has uncertain and assign it to a random value, so the model is then run and result in provided. This process is repeated again and again while assigning the variable in question with many different values. Once the simulation is complete, the results are averaged together to provide an estimate. One way to employ a Monte Carlo simulation is to model possible movement of ascent price using Excel or a similar similar program. There are two components to a async price movement: drift, which is a consistent directional movement, and a random input, which represent market velocity. By analyzing historical price data, you can determine the drift, standard deviation, variance, and the average price movement of security. Those are the building blocks of Monte Carlo simulation. So to project one possible price, so use the historical price data of the async to generate the series of periodic daily returns using natural logarithm.